Hello guys, it has been so long since I last made a video, and I know some of you are like, what? You've made a video before? Yes, I have. But this one is in regards to being back from flight attendant training, and by the title, I'm sure you can guess what happened. But I'm gonna try to make it as short and sweet as I can. It's actually gonna probably still be long, but I'm gonna kind of tell you guys what went on. And first and foremost, before I start anything, I just want to say sorry if I'm quiet or I sound sick or I end up like making weird faces or whatever. I currently have influenza, so I got blessed when I got back from Texas anyways, in regards to training was the most stressful 7 weeks of my life. That being said, because I'm 22, I've never been away from home. I've never been anywhere where I didn't know anybody and had to live with them for 7 weeks. I completely just went in, with an open mindset, and like I had a lot of fun in training, don't get me wrong, but it was a lot. I was away from home for the holidays, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and supposed to be New Year's, but I got sent home 5 days early from graduation, which it happens, it's okay. But anyways, within that being said, with the 7 weeks of training, there was a lot of new learning obstacles, and I learned so much throughout training. I don't ever regret going. I have, come head to head in a lot of things that I've learned. Just a ton of new obstacles to overcome, and so much information being put into your head, and then you having to retain it the next 24 hours. And then, finals is everything that you learned the last 7 weeks, you have to know right then and there. Like, you're going 6 days a week, and then you have 1 day off. But that 1 day off, you really don't have off, because you're trying to retain all the different information that you have coming from all these different ways, and you have to perform it and know it and really convince the instructors that you know your stuff and know their stuff. Training was stressful. On top of it, I've had like a lot of personal things happen with friends, relationship, family, and not anything good. So going through everything that I went through training, and then having to deal with personal issues on top of it, and then roommate issues. I had roommate issues, and they were not good at all. But dealing with all of that was just not a good mix, and I'm not blaming that on any of this, because I got through all of it. However, they were the most challenging 7 weeks that I have had in my entire life. Would I do it again? Probably. I probably would, because I think the flight attendant thing is, I'm just still so passionate about it. And even though that I got sent home, I'm having a very good mindset about it, and I'm not mad in regards to what happened, because I know my stuff, and it was really the company's call on sending me home or not. So in regards to that, I'm gonna fast forward to what happened on me coming home. So when we got to the training facility that morning, we had these little like things that like kind of resembled our badges, and it said what you did that day. So it could have said CBT doors equipment, or equipment doors CBT. It could have had any order. Mine said doors equipment CBT, and CBT stands for like pretty much it's your written test. And so I did so good on everything. I passed everything. The only thing that got me is on my first door, I got so starstruck on it, because I just got nervous and my nerves got the best of me, and that is something that if you were in flight attendant training, I'm gonna try my best to express how important it is to get rid of those nerves right away. It's easier said than done, for sure, but my nerves got the best of me, and so I was doing what I needed to do for my final evaluation on one of the aircraft doors, and I forgot, flight attendants, please arm doors for departure, cross check, verify straps, and stand by for all call. Okay, I caught myself on that, but the instructor's like, he's like, you know that you missed it, but he's like, it's okay. He's like, when you're done with everything, you'll just come back and do it again. And I was like, okay, yeah, great. I'm gonna come back and do it again. And so I went and did my emergency equipment. I did my CVT, passed with a 92 on my written test. I did so good. But, you know, after we got done with everything, they put us in a private room because they didn't want us to go back to the room that we were originally sat in, because they were taking people's name tags and they're trying to do it as discreet as possible, because that's when people go home. So I'm sitting in the room with all the people that passed, and we're waiting for the other people to come in who have passed, and we're seeing like people get sent home, and we're just like, what is happening? And then, you know, one of the instructors comes in and he says, who needs to do retakes? And there's a ton of us that need to do retakes. So he's like, okay, he's like, before we do lunch, let's just go do those retakes real quick and then we'll come back and we'll have lunch. And we're like, yeah, okay. So we go to the doors, and, you know, I'm trying to like go in there level-headed. I'm like, okay. And they call my name. They're like, Lexi, because I'm the first one out of everything. I'm always first for everything according to my last name. And so we get in there to do our door again, and the instructor that had been switched to my aircraft door was a little bit tougher. And I was like, okay. So I got a little bit intimidated, and, you know, I was like, I was really focused on saying that announcement. So I said, flight attendants, please arm doors for departure, cross check, verify straps, stand by for all call. And then I start going through the door procedures, okay? And I'm going through my door procedure, and other flight attendants, I don't know, if you went through training, you'll understand what I'm saying, but my next step was to cross check. So I went to go turn my body like this, and then I turned back around, but I didn't say cross check. I just was like, I told them, I was like, I forgot one part. And I was like, my GERT bar viewing windows are yellow. And then cross check. And so the instructor like looked at me, and I kept going, carrying on with my procedures, because I can't stop to tell you if you did something wrong or not. It's your final evaluation. So I carried on, and at the end of it, he was like, okay, he's like, you did everything perfect, but he's like, you know that you did mess up on something and you failed. So he's like, come with me. And right then and there, they sat me down in a room, and they had my flight information. And the girl was like, you understand why you're going home, right? And I was like, not necessarily, because I was like, I did everything right. I was like, I corrected myself before I went on to the next procedure, and the instructors before that told me it was okay. And she kind of like looked at me, and I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. And then she's like, you know, I'll be right back. She comes back and she's like, you hesitated. That is why you're going home. So they literally sent me home because I went like this. And that's the end of that. That's why I'm back in Montana. It's crappy that I got sent home over something so small, but at the same rate, like, I think everything happens for a reason. And, you know, I'm still encouraged to continue on with my journey and process. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm still pretty upset about being home, but I'm not mad at the same time, because, like, I know that I did everything right and I know my stuff. It was just their call. And so they sent a lot of people home I heard 14 or 15 different people. So a lot of us got sent home on finals day. We've never had a test or anything draw out as many people as finals did. And I think it's because people let their nerves get to them for sure. But I met so many amazing people and made so many amazing friendships and everything that it was truthfully a blessing. I had a lot of fun, and on Christmas Eve I worked my first flight to Las Vegas, and it's the first time I was ever in Vegas, but I had fun. We worked a turn, so we worked there and we worked back, and it was an all-day thing, but it was a lot of fun. There is just so many rewarding things that come out of training and that didn't. Granted, you know, like I said, some of the stressful things I had to deal with. One of my best friends that I talked to one night before, he was kind of giving me like a motivational talk because I was just so discouraged on one of my tests, and you know, he's like, I'm proud of you, you got this. And then the next morning I woke up and he got attacked and got stabbed 8 times, and so that kind of screwed me up, and that's nothing beyond his half, but you know, I care. And then being away from home from the holidays, I sat in my hotel room by myself on Christmas and on Thanksgiving, and I didn't talk with anybody. I didn't have anyone. I was a lone wolf, and so that really sucked. A breakup, that was not fun. You know, having to deal with a roommate that I don't get along with, who was very ignorant towards me. She discriminated towards me because of my diabetes and said some very hurtful things in regards to my relationship to me. And then on top of it, I came back home and my whole family is going through issues, and one medical, and then the other is just other things that don't need to be talked about, but lots of stuff happening in the world at not a very good time. So 2019 was a big year for me because I was like, oh, I'm getting somewhere, and then it ended with you thought. So it was tough, but you know, I'm gonna get back on it. I'm gonna keep applying. I'm gonna make it to the flight attendant situation. It's a matter of God's timing, and you know, at this rate, you gotta keep your composure. Not keep your composure throughout training. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be tough for you. You have people watching you 24/7. I didn't think anybody was watching me because none of the instructors would pick on me. They never said anything to me. And then as I got throughout my training, I would go up to an instructor and they'd be like, Lexi. And I'd be like, you know who I am? And they'd be like, yeah, how could I forget you? Right. How could they forget me? I just ended up bawling my eyes out in front of the entire class. Yeah. So very stressful 7 weeks, but what an adventure that I got on. I got very lucky with the company that I was with and all the amazing people I met. I've probably made some lifetime long friends through training, and even though I didn't succeed, it melts my heart to have watched them pass everything and get their wings and finish out strong, because in my case I didn't get lucky like they did, but at the same rate, like, I'm here to see not myself winning but them too. So it was a big reward to see all of the people that I became really good friends with pass, and even the friends that didn't pass, that went home before me, same day as me, we're still in contact, and I'm so lucky. I made such amazing friends, and I can't wait to be flying and get to see them all again. Like, it was an experience, so I'm forever grateful for that.